What's going on, y'all? Machiavelli Mills TV. So it's Saturday morning. I'm going to review the NBA Draft 2019. However, I won't review how well teams did with their selections in this video. This video will be about the optics, what I saw during the 2019 NBA Draft, and what I liked. I saw a strong presence of black fatherhood at that 2019 NBA draft, and it made me smile. Like, I felt good about it. I really felt great about it. I watched the first of 9 picks in the barbershop when I was getting my hair cut. And we were all proud to see that, these young black men have fathers in their lives who had a profound impact on their lives as well. Not just a father that was just there, but a father, I'm saying not just a father that was there at the draft that night. You can tell these fathers have profound impact on their children's life. When I saw the interaction between RJ Barrett and his father, I was like, man, that's some powerful stuff. And RJ Barrett's father looked so proud and was just smiling like, it's my son. That's my boy. And they were hugging and embracing each other. And I felt that. I really do. I really felt that. And I think it's an image that should be seen and shown more on television, because I think a lot of times sports media likes to highlight the single mother a lot. They do, because the single mother pulls on the heartstrings, right? When you tell a story about a woman struggling and she's by herself and she's raising her son, it pulls on the heartstrings more than the story of a father and their son, a father and son bond. It pulls on heartstrings more than a 2-parent household that was structured properly. It does. And I think people get emotionally more, they get emotionally attached to a story where it's a mother raising a child by herself. Now, let's be real. A lot of the athletes today have been raised by single mothers. It's true. We've seen it all the time. We've seen it with LeBron James. We've seen it with Derrick Rose. We saw it with, I think, Carmelo Anthony. We saw it before, right? But I want the stories about the black fatherhood to be highlighted as well, because those things matter. When I saw the story Dwayne Wade's father growing up, when his mother was, she had troubles with drug issues, and Dwayne Wade's father, took over and raised him, and he reared him to success. I like that story. Now, again, I'm not saying that you shouldn't highlight stories of single parents, single mothers, because it's life. It's life, especially you've seen it before. We've seen it before. So you tell people's story. But what I'm saying is, what I saw at the draft helped to try to dispel this narrative that all black fathers are absent, and all black fathers, not all, but a lot of black fathers just leave the household and just be gone for eternity. You know what I mean? And the image that I saw at the draft showed that, there are black parents, black fathers who care and stay within their children's life and help to rear them and mold them for success, man. And that's why it made me smile, man. I saw them kids bond. I saw the kids bond with their father. That was dope. Who else did I? Ja Morant and his father. I love watching that. I loved watching that, man, for real, because there's this notion that the black athlete, especially, his father is for sure gone, and he left mom to be struggling by herself. And while we've seen that occur, I don't want that to be the only story for the black athlete. I don't want that to be the only story told. Which is why I got so invested, or I really loved watching LeVar Ball, despite, the outside stuff with him, with, criticizing the coaches and stuff like that. I love to see how involved he was with his children. I really love to see how much he cared about his boys. For real, I really love to see that. I really love to see him starting a company to create generational wealth for his family, and supporting his children every step of the way. That was dope to me. So I really couldn't criticize, and now I can criticize LeVar for some things that he said, for sure, definitely. But I couldn't criticize a black man being present in his children's life, and a black man just really caring about everything that his son, like really caring about his son's well-being. I could never criticize that. But yeah, man, what I saw during that draft, I really like to see, man. I think that again, I'm aware that there is a lot of single mothers in the black community, for real. I am aware of that, and that is a problem. But yes, and you can highlight those stories for sure. But I don't want that to be the single mother narrative, the single parent, single mother narrative to be the narrative for every athlete. Because you watch most of the sports programming, you'll see that that's often the story that's the story that's mainly told time and time again. It's not the stories of an R.J. Barrett and his father. It's not the story of a John Moran and his father. Even with the number one draft pick, Zion Williamson, right? Now, what I've heard is that, his stepfather reared him. And his stepfather was the one who raised him. And again, that's black fatherhood still. Because even though that's not biologically his child, that man helped to rear him, help mold him, and help teach him things so he could have a successful transition into adulthood. And I want to remind everybody, it takes a village to raise a child, right? That's why I don't like when people say stuff like, when people say stuff like, oh, I ain't raised, look, I ain't raising nothing that ain't mine. I ain't raising nothing that ain't mine. I'm looking like, but these kids, or they don't like to talk and mentor kids in their neighborhood, in their environment. And I'm looking like, these are the young men that are fatherless that will be living amongst your children. And you talking like that. Everybody needs love. Everybody needs love and will appreciate some guidance. And you talking, I ain't saying nothing to them kids. Them ain't my kids. I ain't doing nothing. For them kids. Okay, but them kids living amongst your kids. And when you look like you don't want to, I ain't saying nothing to them. I ain't helping them with nothing. I ain't coming. I'm not trying to be no role model for them or nothing like that. When them kids turn into gorillas and they living in the same environment with your kids, you looking crazy. So, I appreciate like Zion Williamson's stepfather. And I'm not sure. Y'all, I gotta find this out. But he may have been really the main father in Zion's life. So I can't even say stepfather. That's his father. That man, the one that raised him and groomed him. So that was great to see, man. That was great to see. And these young men, man, I love to see the fact that they were not afraid to show emotion. They were, the tears was flowing. They wasn't too cool for school. This is a great time in their life, man. A great time in their life. And this is a moment that they will remember forever. When I was in the barbershop, I heard the dude say, why Zion and all them crying? They act like they didn't know they was going to get drafted before the night. They act like he didn't know he was going to be the number one pick. R.J. Barrett act like he didn't know he was going to get picked in the lottery. And I'm looking like, man, bro, so what? I ain't say this to him, but in my head I'm thinking, so what? This is a moment that they've been waiting for their whole life. You never, when you can dream about something since you were a child, right? You can grow up and you achieve that dream. It feels profound, man. I can imagine how that feels for you to work diligently at a goal day and night since a child. And then to have it in your, not in your grasp, but it's in your grasp, but then to have it in your hands, that's special. That's special. To have something that you've been trying to reach for all your life in your hands, that's a different feeling, brother. Them kids been dreaming all their life to back when David Stern was still a commissioner. They dreamed to walk on that stage and shake hands with David Stern or whoever the commissioner would be. And to hold up their jersey or to put their hat on to say that they joined in this team, and to hear that a team wants you. They want you over a lot of other people, a lot of other young guys. It's a lot of people that play basketball in this world. But that team wants you specifically, that means something, man. That's why those kids were emotional. They know their life is changing forever. For the better. Their life is changing forever for the better. And they know that. And again, I was proud to see how mature these young men were too, or are. because they got to make hasty decisions at 18, 19 years old. And a lot is expected of them. A lot of them are expected to provide for their family. A lot of their family don't come from wealth, so they have to provide, and that puts them in great position to provide, in great position to be the professional that they want to be in their sport. So that's why they were emotional, man. It is nothing like achieving a goal that you've been trying to reach or attain for a lifetime. And I was happy to see that a nice amount of those young brothers were sharing it with their fathers. Fathers, whether it be biological father, it don't matter. Whether it be the uncles, whether it be stepfathers, whether it be father figures, coaches. They had a presence in their life that helped to get them where they were. And to share with their mother too. To share with their mother, they siblings, their aunts, they cousins, all of it. I saw families in there, and I'm like, man, that's a beautiful moment, man. To see a kid reach a goal in their life, to see a kid reach a goal in their life that they've been working for a long time, I can imagine how Zion felt. Like, man, like, you've been putting in work all for a very long time. I mean, putting in the physical work. You see how great in shape physically he is. And you've been putting in the work on the basketball court to get your skills to a certain height to be able to impress a team and say, I want that young man over everybody else. Everybody else. And it happened for him, man. And yeah, man, the optics that I saw, man, I love what I saw, man. And I know I wasn't the only one, because where I work, a woman came in and was talking about how her husband watched the draft and she loved watching it. She loved seeing how, excited the young men were, how they can share that moment with their families, how emotional they were for achieving something that a lot of people don't achieve, man. There's a lot of people that had that same dream to play basketball that didn't get to that point, unfortunately. Whether it be due to injury, whether it be due to lack of focus, whether it be too many distractions, or just not being good enough. There's a lot of men that didn't reach that level. Like Jay-Z said, I seen hoop dreams deflate like a true fiend's weight. Like, for real. We seen them hoop dreams deflate in the hood. So it's always good to see young men reach a goal that they've been trying to reach, man. Yeah, man, I really enjoyed that draft. I really do. I watch the draft every year because I'm always interested to see the moment. I don't know. I like seeing a moment where a young man's life will change forever. Like, I think that is like a great moment, man. Like, to know that, especially the lottery picks, to know that, you know what? We once didn't have a lot of money. Now I have, I'm a millionaire, and I'm playing in a league that I dreamed of playing in my whole life, to show the world that I am one of the best basketball players to play this game. And that's what the ultimate quest is, to show everybody in the world that you are who they think you are and more, and to show that you belong in the NBA and you have a desire to be one of the best to ever play this game, man. That's dope to see, man. That's dope. But again, man, the presence of Black fatherhood was there, and I loved it. I loved it. And when I made this video, I'm not trying to shame single parenthood or single motherhood. It happened in my family a lot. It did. But I like to see the other narrative outside of that being pushed for the Black athlete, because because those stories are often so highlighted. Some people may think like, man, it's rare for a Black athlete to have his father in his life. And it's not. It's not. But we know that the single mother's stories pulls on the heartstrings more than a person coming from a two-parent household, or a person having a strong bond with their father that's alive. It's not the same. It doesn't pull on the heartstrings the same as single motherhood. So I love to see the presence of Black fatherhood, and it helped to get rid of that, not get rid of, but it helped to dispel the narrative a little bit, I would say. It helped to dispel the narrative a little bit that all black athletes, they rarely have their fathers in their life. Their fathers don't be around, and It's just mom and grandma. And truthfully, look, it is a lot of times it is that story for a lot of black athletes, but a lot of times there is a different story. There's a LeVar Ball story. There are single father stories as well. So I think that other avenues or other narratives for black athletes other narratives for black athletes should be explored as well and highlighted as much as single motherhood stories on media outlets, sports media outlets for sure. And again, I'm not bashing single motherhood. It's a reality. It's a reality that a lot of people face. A lot of people in my family. My mother wasn't with my father, didn't marry my father, nothing like that, but he was in my life and was a strong, strong, strong presence all my life, and still is to this day. So, I know single parenthood single motherhood is a real thing, but there are other stories that other athletes have besides that, other black athletes have besides that as well. So, for sure highlight single mother stories, but for sure highlight the stories of a young black athlete coming from a two-parent household, or even stories of a young black athlete having a strong relationship with their father, or stories of single fatherhood as well. That's all I'm saying, y'all. But I love the NBA draft and the optics that were there, and the stories too. Peace.